Hello YouTube and welcome to the start of the Ranked Royale for EU. If you want to know how the format works, I'm going to go over it real quickly. Mawkzy, Zen, and LuiisP all qualified to the main event by finishing top 3 in Ranked on March 19th. The next 8 players played through a qualifier that Nugget was able to win. So now it will just be pool play with the final players. Simulating kind of like Ranked, everybody plays everybody. Whoever gets the most wins at the end of the tournament takes the prize. And we're starting off today with LuiisP versus Mawkzy. Game number 1 of the Ranked Royale. Mawkzy and LuiisP. LuiisP, a guy who has grinded Ranked a ton in the past. Both of these players qualifying directly through their Ranked performances. And both of them historically very highly rated ones players. In fact, sometimes a player's show match ability and their Ranked ability don't fully line up. One of the best examples was Joria's, although I wouldn't really say Ranked ability, just more his care for Ranked. He was, for a long time, the best in the world and wasn't even on the leaderboard. And so you always knew there was a disparity there. LuiisP and Mawkzy might be an example, if there are any, of players whose leaderboard position has maybe always been even slightly ahead of their show match position. Now, they always have been top-rated players in EU, don't get me wrong. But these two, LuiisP a little bit less recently, but certainly for a long time, spent time as the #1 rated EU player and up in the top 5, even though maybe not in the top 1 or 2 like you might expect from somebody rated so high in show matches. But LuiisP is going to show why he's a top player today. He's always been in the conversation of one of the best in EU. Mawkzy has certainly taken the edge over him and comes into this match higher seeded via his rank, although seeding doesn't really matter in this pool play. Wizard, thank you for the prime. Shot Wizard, is it? I don't know how to say that, but much appreciated. Mawkzy starts off with a couple quick goals to take a lead before Luis grabs one. Mawkzy is the kind of player that we are going to see prioritizing ground plays. You see him corralling what could have been an air dribble down to the ground. He is one of the best ground flickers in the game. And LuiisP is going to try and show that he has some of that as well, but historically, he's been much more of a high flyer. Mawkzy able to single jump over the attempted bump, and then LuiisP, after heading out to the midfield, decides he wants to grab boost and immediately challenge, and Mawkzy has the read on that. Thank you for the 2 months of Prime, Sam. Glad to see Zen will be on the stream. Yeah, Zen playing later today as our final match on stream against Nugget. Mawkzy with a kickoff goal for a 4th. What did chat end up deciding was their likelihood of Mawkzy winning this? 78% of chat on the side of Mawkzy today. Mawkzy has been able to get to his dribble position early and often so far in the first couple minutes. Something that LuiisP not likely to get away with very often, but kickoffs will also be a big story, as it always is with Mawkzy. Nice bump on LuiisP, sent him to the back wall, and then recovered quicker to the ball. He's got himself a 5th goal. Mawkzy was, for a while, in the argument for best ones player, not just in the EU, but maybe the entire world. But had a couple slip-ups, I feel, recently. Probably has a couple different guys ahead of him. Certainly still in the top 10. He is going to defend LuiisP's attack with ease and make it 6-1. Mawkzy, best kickoffs in the world. Certainly one of the best. I've mentioned this a ton of times, and maybe I'll do it again sometime. He's going to not even fake the kickoff, but just half flip off the kickoff, and it's going to work perfectly. We saw this yesterday with, I believe it was Joria's, who got the half flip kickoff and then the reset on the first touch to save it, and used that to wave dash and boom the ball the other way. Like I said, I had a survey of the top ones players. Had them fill out who they thought was the best. Mawkzy, Toxic, and KV1 all tied with the most amount of votes for the best kickoff. I think if we run it again, we'll probably just have the EU players vote on EU and the North American players vote on NA, because there was just a bit too much split and there's not a ton of crossover in how much these guys play. So I know a few different pros said something like, all I really know is the people I play against. I don't watch a ton of other ones. So it might just be better to do pools of players, aka regions. LuiisP mixing up his kickoff in attempt to come back in this game. Huge delay, and Mawkzy falls right into it. Mawkzy is a guy who leans on his wave dash kickoff more than anything else, which means I expect to see that delay work at least a couple times, but Mawkzy goes standard and wins this one after LuiisP tries to dash and take the midfield boost. Forgetting that Mawkzy's way too good to let him get away with that. It has been a lot of kickoffs here. 2 minutes left to go. Already at 9-3. LuiisP able to evade Mawkzy's aggressive challenge in the corner. Can he find this double? He can! Mawkzy somehow did not get a touch on this ball. This seemed like a pretty straightforward clear for him. I did not expect LuiisP to get a bucket from this, but Mawkzy didn't expect the wall to come up so soon. You could tell the angle that he took was expecting the ball to travel just a little bit farther before he made a connection with it. Line 4 now. LuiisP, a bit of a surge in the last few moments. Can he use that to get back? I like that. Single jump. Sideways wave dash to keep his momentum. He's staying all over the ball right now, but Mawkzy does get it clear. Should be able to pick up midfield boost, and not only that, he's going to get a goal. So smooth with his carries. When you're playing against the human version of Nexto, you have to be so careful to never let him see the net. Mawkzy with a 6-goal lead with a minute. Means LuiisP needs one every 10 seconds. And this is a great fake to get the first. Mawkzy hands the ball over. LuiisP just a straight dribble down the right side of the field, constantly threatening that hook left. Mawkzy, one touch. Not enough to really stop Luis from gaining control. But every moment is a moment that essentially ends the game for LuiisP. He needs to be just slamming the ball in the net at every second. And it's hard to balance making actually reasonable touches that stand a chance versus just prioritizing maximum speed. So it is going to be Mawkzy game 1 win. He came out way stronger than LuiisP. I think since something like a 6-3 lead or so, it's been a little bit closer. Might have even been a bigger lead at first. It might have been 6-1. So LuiisP in the last minute has equalized it. Good sign for him in the coming game. But no doubt that LuiisP has a bit to work on. Game number 2. I expect to see some delay kickoffs and some mix-ups from LuiisP long before the game gets out of hand this time. He has hopped into the Fennec. Was he in the Fennec in the previous game? Chat always remembers. For some reason, I thought he was maybe in an Octane. But he was. I'm just crazy. Maybe he's in a different Fennec? Most likely, probably just crazy. Too many Rocket League games watched recently. LuiisP trying to sneak in to the top right. Mawkzy's not going to let him get away with it. It certainly would... Wait. Yeah, okay. He is not going to let him get away with it. It was going to be an impressive shot for sure. Sometimes it's hard to bail on attempts like that. But LuiisP maybe needed to. Mawkzy did show that he was in position to make that top corner save. LuiisP going to back off. Knows that he's going to have to concede possession and boost here. Tries to get back into the play quickly, and Mawkzy, the early flick. You do want to stop him from ever getting control, and maybe that's what LuiisP is thinking when he wall dashes and looks to attack Mawkzy right away at the midfield. Maybe he's hoping he can catch up to him before he gets the ball on top of his car. That can so often be a death sentence. Nice play from LuiisP. He's the kind of guy to play from the ceiling. This time, gives the ball the adjustment it needs right after Mawkzy's off the back wall. Wave dash kickoff from Mawkzy. Just bumps LuiisP to the boost. Is an interesting way to counter the wave dash kickoff that some people seem to be fairly consistent at doing. Mawkzy plays keep away the other way. He has been just so on point. Every little opening you give him doesn't even seem like it's an opening, and Mawkzy plays with such precision that he makes it so. Mawkzy, another kickoff goal, 4-1. Delay kickoff. I was about to say, I should have said it before so that I could have looked smarter. But I was going to say 4-1. I think we're going to see some more serious mixing up of the kickoff from LuiisP. Likely a big delay, but the problem is this time Mawkzy may be a bit more ready for it. LuiisP takes control of this ball to the side wall. Mawkzy diving. Luis was hoping to get enough power. Placed the ball away from Mawkzy, but he found his way back. Mawkzy single jumps to avoid the demo that he knows is coming. As he checks back on reverse cam. Wave dashes out, but LuiisP actually gets the ball and backflips over the top of him. Mawkzy would have been better off had he not wave dashed. He would have been in a position where he could still stop that pop, but Mawkzy trying to get a clean possession here on the goal line. He waits for LuiisP to back off. Doesn't ultimately get one. Trying to stay in possession now. LuiisP chasing him down with a big boost advantage. Mawkzy decides to leave, grabs the boost, but knows he has to give up the ball if he doesn't want to get demoed. These two vying for control the midfield. Either one of these two have had a real clear possession, not until right now, where Mawkzy attacks through the air and gives LuiisP a freebie. LuiisP has historically been the better in the air of the two, and he's proven that today. I liked this turtle 360. I gotta remember to try and do this, although I'm sure I'm not talented enough to actually hit that cool of a turtle. Turtle control is all about your first flip. You know, as long as you flip over pointed the right way, then you could easily do... I mean, I say easily, but I'm sure I'll try and mess up, but LuiisP didn't do any actual changing of direction. He just had a good flip upside down. But right now, he's down 2 with 2 minutes left to go. Going back to all reliable, but it didn't work. Mawkzy up quickly. In fact, turned it in for a goal himself. Mawkzy sending the ball up to the back wall. LuiisP cannot get any of these air dribbles over the top of Mawkzy. His defensive reactions have been absolutely on point. Whether it's an air dribble, LuiisP's trying to score over, or whether he's trying to bump. This one, though, is going to be great. Faked. Mawkzy has been reading LuiisP all day, and LuiisP realized, well, what if I don't actually ever use my flip? Then what is Mawkzy going to do? Float off the wall and pass the ball is the answer. LuiisP kickoff win. He's going to try and show some more turtle mechanics. What's going on? He's got 2 goals to make up in the next minute. He wanted to show chat something new. He actually is able to completely kill this one on the goal line. Why did he not backflip? Am I crazy, or was a diagonal backflip possible? You know, maybe somebody like me wouldn't have been able to get the right input, but certainly LuiisP would have. LuiisP full field dribble to the bottom left corner. Mawkzy's around to make the save. The hook shot comes at so much power. Right off the bounce. 122 km/h. LuiisP takes a slight trip to the corner boost, and that was all the space that Mawkzy needed. JT12, thank you for the 5 months of Prime. It's a long time Prime, and appreciate that. Mawkzy has controlled this game like he did game number 1. LuiisP seemingly not a ton of urgency despite being down 3 with 20 seconds left to go. Seems like he's expecting to be out of this game number 2. Gonna need a reverse sweep on Mawkzy. But we get a clip for the road. All right, here comes more turtle gameplay. The 360 spin. Mawkzy keeps it in the air for an 8. 8-4, another double up. 10-5 in the previous game, 8-4 this time. Last goal, though, certainly given for free. Game number 3. Mawkzy and LuiisP. Mawkzy is trying to take all the hope out of LuiisP's eyes, and no better way to do that. With an immediate demo, LuiisP jumping around on the goal line is not able to stop the first goal. This is what can happen going up against a guy like Mawkzy, who is so efficient and so good at controlling kickoffs. It can feel like you're just forced to play his game, which is something that can be very, very frustrating. LuiisP, though, really wants to get some turtle action involved. I've seen many times before a nice fake on this attempt. LuiisP up to the ball quick. Makes Mawkzy think he's going high. But I've seen a lot of times players recover from tilt in the way that LuiisP is doing right now. I've seen it probably more often than not continue to tilt away into a loss, but you get creative, a couple things hit, you try something stupid, and all of a sudden it's the one thing that works. And next thing you know, you find yourself back in the game. We'll see if that happens for Luiis. What happened during the March Madness game? There was a game where a team had won, and then some kid tried to throw a dunk down when in the final second or whatever, because it was over and nobody was defending. Which, to me, doesn't seem like a huge deal, but the world seemed very upset about it. Mawkzy bumped into his third goal. LuiisP, kickoff possession, saved. He forces Mawkzy to miss by staying tight. But now it can't recover after Mawkzy able to steal the boost in the corner. 4-1 lead for Mawkzy. Wave dash kick up for Mawkzy, make it 5-1. He is trying to make this a simple domination. LuiisP all the way from the back corner gets the reset and pops the ball. All of this happens just a bit too far out from the net, so Mawkzy gets to sit and wait. LuiisP is not going to have Mawkzy wall to air dribbling on him. But now the hook shot comes. A great save, or almost a great save, as he looked to try and control it. LuiisP runs away. Mawkzy is not going to tap in the next goal, not unless LuiisP comes in, forces him to. Mawkzy's going to go say what's up to him down on this side of the field. No, he's just going to flip around. LuiisP continues to 360 turtle. Mawkzy wants to play. Mawkzy decides he wants to play and goes and slams in a 6th goal. Could have waited him out and had the sweep if LuiisP refused to get up. 6-1. Will we see a change in attitude from LuiisP? Air dribble from his back half. That is a solid take. Something that he has been doing all day but hasn't been able to score with. Now he throws the as he resets past Mawkzy. Mawkzy tends to get into a bit of beef with a lot of players. He is not afraid to speak his mind. LuiisP gonna score again. Has he activated LuiisP now? Did he make a mistake as LuiisP pops over the top of him? What is Mawkzy doing on this kickoff? Completely flips away from the ball. LuiisP still ends up having to hand over control. Tries to beat Mawkzy back to the ball on the side wall. Now wall to air dribble. Finish with a bump. LuiisP gets a 4th. Mawkzy having a tough time. You literally boost accounts and smurf. What are you talking? Oh my goodness. I can't handle this beef on my stream. I just want to watch a Rocket League 1v1 tournament. Mawkzy's chipping in a direct goal. 7-4 for him as these two continue to play the mind games. Ever since the mind game started, certainly LuiisP has had the advantage. Now he's hitting to the keyboard. The keyboard warrior. He needs something to say. Mawkzy's going to take his freebie. LuiisP taking issue with Mawkzy taking new accounts to top 100. My understanding is Mawkzy has a lot of accounts that he grinds up, but my understanding of the Psyonix rules that you can make a new account and play it to top 100 as long as you're never losing intentionally. And so I believe that's why Mawkzy comes out unscathed. LuiisP down 8-4. Taking a wall to air dribble now. Took to the keyboard for the previous possession. Now takes another full field dribble. This is the kind of stuff that he normally does when he's playing well. Right now, though, it seems like these two are almost just doubling the ball around until the clock hits 0. Get these guys in Discord after this? No, I'm not about to get these guys in Discord. Mawkzy is not banned from the RLCS. Mawkzy, as far as I'm aware, has never really tried hard to qualify for the RLCS. Mostly plays 1v1. On occasion, I think Mawkzy has said that he's LFT to try, but I don't think he's really tried super hard. Maybe one day when Rocket League boxing event happens, the rematch can happen. Although I think, you know, Rocket League players are a bit too young to be boxing. Gotta do a post-fight interview, UFC style. These two guys at least trying to give us a show here at the end. Looking for a psycho earlier from Mawkzy. LuiisP takes his freebie. 12 seconds away from a Mawkzy round 1 win. There it is. A sweep for Mawkzy. Every game win is very important. So getting a 3-0 win is actually huge in case Mawkzy ends up being in tiebreakers with anybody. He now has +3 in the first round as we move on to Mawkzy versus Nugget.